Hi guys, Chris from Seabound here. In this video, we're going to try something different today. Still getting over and recovering from that cold. Water's been horrible, the weather's been not too good. So in this video, I just thought I can give you a glimpse into all the spears, gears and ideas that I have over these last 4 months of spearfishing. And just a little, a couple of stories and a couple of war stories about what happened to me along the way and learning curves that I've picked up and wetsuits and all sorts, all in this video. Hope you enjoy. Alright guys, I started off with my wetsuits. They're pretty stock standard, beginner stuff. Your normal one-piece wetsuit, 3mm. I got actually 3mm ones. These all come with the matching hoods. I tend to use these in the shallow waters, as I said in the previous video, because if they take damage, these are $100. You know, easy recyclable, especially for the shallow dives, shore dives or coral dives. You know, you're going to be going through rocks and cracks and caves and stuff, so they're going to take a fair beating. So I just use these. Plus they got firm load pads, man. I always tend to look for these load pads, so when you're reloading your gun and pulling those rubbers back, you won't feel the bite of the gun pressing on your chest. So always check those pads, guys. 3mm is good for waters down in Australia. You know, it's pretty warm down here year round, so even in the winter you get some warm days. So 3mm suits tend to work best for me, but each to their own. And moving on to my Virgin suit. I haven't used this bad boy yet. This is my Hunt Master 2-piece 3.5mm suit. I haven't really put on an open cell suit yet. Look, I've tried putting on the bottoms when I was giving it a size test, and yeah, it's a bit hard, and I understand you need to use all lubes and soaps and stuff to get them on, but I haven't tried this bad boy out yet. Getting ready to hit some bigger water, then chuck this bad boy on and use will be there when I do put it on. So these are my wetsuits, guys, and just got them from your local dive shop or BCF or Facebook Market, which I got this bad boy from. Yeah, so that's where you get your dives. You know, I look for the specials, or you know, Afterpay. They usually tend to offer Afterpay, and with those gloves and that, I also have boots, socks and gloves that I actually do purchase from Temu and Shein, which are pretty good because they're consumable, guys. You're going to thrash these walking on rocks, or you know, getting into your spots or touching things in the ocean. You're going to go through these like no tomorrow, so I just get them from Temu and Shein, guys. With the company, I don't tend to use black wetsuits, guys. I like to use the camo range because it gives you more of an edge when you're down there. You know, you don't want to go down there looking like a seal, looking like a shark ready to come and bite you. But that's just my theory, guys. I just tend to use these for kelps and these for a bit deeper, and you know, just to hide amongst the vegetation down there. So yeah, that's my wetsuits, guys. Moving on to my masks. These are my 3 diving masks. You always got to have a spare, guys, or I tend to take 2 masks out per dive just in case you lose one or rubber snaps or something. I got my Ocean Hunter Venator, tempered glass. All of them are tempered glass, guys. I've done the burn ritual and the toothpaste so they don't fog up. But I also got this anti-frog, Cressy anti-frog spray that I keep with me before a dive, just to spray up the goggles before I put them on. But yeah, guys, these are my 3 masks. One with the GoPro mount. This is probably my favorite one, just because of the wide lenses. I'm going to upgrade this one soon to get a bigger lens for the GoPro mount, just so I can see more when I'm down there. I like these too, but it's just a bit restricting. Look at the difference between the lenses. But yeah, all right, and there my mask. Coming down to my weight belt. You know, this is my weight belt with my weights on it, and a knife, a D-shackle and some carabiners on it just to tow some stuff around. Gonna put a flashlight on it soon, guys, but it all comes in time. So that's my belt. It's a silicone belt. I tend to use these because when you go down, your body compresses, so you know, you want this thing to stay tight with you. If you use those fabric ones, you're going to get them sliding down and you'll be shaking your ass when you dive, or most of the time you're going to do what you need to do down there. Also going down with me, I have a secondary knife which I keep around my legs. It's only just because you want two knives down there, you know, if you're going through caves and reefs and that, you know, you got to get caught on someone's old fishing line or caught on a bit of kelp and you can't access one knife. You always got a fail safe on you, just so you can cut yourself out of any danger or any harm. Coming on to the breathing apparatus, got 3 snorkels, obviously going with each mask, but yeah, got the 2 normal stock standard J snorkels for free diving, and then this is actually came from a snorkeling kit which I just keep for me as a freshie or a spare, or someone wants to come, here you go, everyone's used this one. And moving on to the weapons, guys, the part that everyone's been waiting for. So this is it, guys. This is the Old Faithful, my first weapon of choice when I got into the sport. I chose a hand spear because I wasn't ready for a harpoon gun yet. So this is probably your best learning tool to get into the sport with, because you can thrash it, guys. You can smash it up on reefs and smash it into rocks. You're gonna miss most of the time, but you know, like, you can really get into hard to get places, and it can take a good hiding. You know, this is just your carbon fiber one, you know, so 3-part, easy to transport around, easy to use. I'm not sure about the rubbers on it, still learning that as well, but fairly easy to pull back and twist around the gun. This will do some serious damage or something. You can pick these up from your local BCFs or dive shops, or even bait shops, man. I'm pretty sure any fishing shop would have one of these. You know, you can use these for flatheads on the shore. You can go and smash something big with it down there, but always keep protection on it so you can get a float line on it. I just chucked a carabie on it in case I did get a whale or something with it and it took off. I'll track him down. Moving on. All right, this is my first spear gun that I actually got given by my mate. He saw me started spearfishing with the hand spear, and he had one of these sitting in his backyard, little Cressy 600mm gun, single rubber, and he goes, just go pick it up from my house and give it a shot. So I thought it was a good way to learn how to figure out all the rigging and stuff and safeties on a spear gun, but it was a good way to learn, you know, because these are look at it, you got so much line on it, you got so much rigging to learn. They're probably more complicated than the big ones, but I'm glad I picked up one of these to start learning off first. And funny story, I nailed that big flathead in my photo with this gun. So it's not about the size, mate, it's about how you use it. But yeah, it's got your double shaft connectors on your shaft. You can connect to 1 or 2. I usually use the second one, you know, because you don't want to go down there and have these half loaded and not get anything. So I usually tend to use that back one. But yeah, guys, this is it. If you want to get into the sport and move up to something small, just start off with this, and we'll teach you a thing or two about it. And this is my baby, guys. This is my 1 meter 14mm rubber gun. So this is my weapon of choice that I usually take out with me. Obviously got tuna clips, guys. Always got to keep on that float line in case you do shoot something big and it takes off with your gun. I got no reel on it, so I'm only purely relying on the monofilament line. So you got to have it hooked up at all times at the back. But this is my weapon of choice, which I told you guys in the previous video. I go down with a single rubber loaded, not both, because there's no point of loading up 2 rubbers for reef diving, for shore diving, because there's nothing that big worth it to load that up. Like I said, unless you see that big buddy, both these babies are going on. But this is my weapon of choice, my 1 meter spear gun. So this was actually a birthday gift, guys. I got the gun alone as a birthday gift with the snapped rubber on it. I just thought I'll bring that back to life in another video, but I haven't used this gun yet. I haven't even hooked up the line to it, so I'm still working on this gun, and once I do get better at the sport and hook up some line on this, and you guys will be with me when I bust this bad boy out for the first time. So let's keep our fingers crossed for me to get better, and I'll get this bad boy going. Alright, guys, So these are the flippers, big dogs. They're only plastic, like I said on the previous videos. They top of hiding, man. They get battered, they get smashed, they get scratched. So these are beginners, plastic ones. These are what I use because I'm still beginning. But hopefully one day I can move up to carbons. But these will get you through, like I said, you can get them from any dive shop, BCF. They're 80 bucks to 100 bucks for plastic. So if you want to get into the sport, plastic's your best way of beginning. So transportation, this is what I use to get my stuff to and from. Since I'm a shore diver and I haven't got to deep sea yet, I put all my stuff in a bag where I can hook up a gun or 2 guns on the side, these 2. Put my fins in, my goodies, drink bottle, whatever, lunch, you know, anything you can put in this bag, but you know, your goods first, you know, your wetsuit, your gloves, could all fit in here. You got 2 compartments, you got a back one and a front one. I tend to use the front one for my goods, and if you do forget to bring a separate bag for your catch, you can also stuff a fish in there. It's all PVC padded in there, all waterproof. You got your drain holes, air holes, so you never get any stinky stuff in here. This is a dive bag that I take with me, that I keep on if I go down and get kinners or crabs, or you know, got little fish, little catch, chuck these in. But if I'm not catching anything, guys, I'm catching rubbish out of the ocean and doing my part. So it's always good to have a bag on you just to clean up and do your part, guys. You know, whatever you put out, the ocean will give back to you. And last is just a normal waterproof bag, guys. I usually like to take this out with me with my kayak just to have my snorkels. I put like snorkels and stuff in that top, and my goggles will go in here as well in this pouch. Have my wetsuits and that at the bottom, just when I go on a kayak trip, or if I don't want to wear my wetsuit in the car or whatever, put it on. There it is. The little waterproof bag is always handy to have with you. And there it is, guys. That's all my stuff I've come up to along the way. I got one more thing to show you, which is the Sea Ferrari that I got. Was a good investment actually that I put into, just to get into that deeper water, guys. Like I said, I don't really know much people in the sport. I'm just starting out, so everything I've done is self-taught or research on my own. So I've invested into a kayak. Alrighty. So here it is, guys. The Sea Ferrari. I got this kayak from BCF. It's a lifetime kayak. They're pretty durable, guys. You got it doesn't come with all this rigging, obviously. I've done most of this myself. Also got a float too. So if I'm not using my kayak as a float, this is my mini kayak, which I hook up to my guns, and I'm towing this around just for visibility, guys. People can see in the ocean. You'll be sharing the waterways with boats, jet skis and all sorts, so you don't want to get into an accident and end up at the bottom of the sea. So got my float and the red Ferrari. Alright, guys, this is just a close-up of all the mods I've done. I put an anchor rope on it with a stainless steel ring on it, just so I can have access to hook the anchor to the front or the back of the kayak and lock it off here. And just in case I hit a sweet current and I don't want the kayak to be shaking or getting slammed with wakes or anything, I can have the option to put the anchor at the top or the back. And that's the anchor, guys, that connects to the Caribbean here. You got to give yourself a decent length of rope, guys. I've done the mistake of hooking the kayak up with this. Was my original chain before, and this is my chain now, because when I had this chain on before and I thought I pulled up shop to my kayak, I pulled up, threw the anchor in, went for a dive. I was about, say, just under 100 meters away from my kayak. I looked back and it's taken off into the distance. I go shooting after it. Thank God I actually got it, and when I got it, this chain's hanging up, connected to my anchor, about half a meter off the ground, going through the current. So I picked it up just in the nick of time. So I made sure I went down to Bunnings and picked up a good size piece of chain, so we're not going to have any more accidents. But it's all trial and error, guys. You know, you're gonna come along the way. I got another story about losing some more gear. So this is it, guys. This is what I look like in it, and this is the anchor system down here, up and down, like I said previously. Obviously hooked up with my oar, tucked in the side, all locked away, and I got the also hooked up this. It was an bread pallet, but I took it from IGA. Thank you. Just to hook up at the back, just for some storage. I put my waterproof bag in the back and just my phone and GoPros and stuff. Or some flashing tape just for some friction, and then bolted all down with some D-links that I got from Bunnings, and then got me a little net canvas bungee cord sort of thing just to hold everything down, so we're not going to have any more missing gear. Here it comes with the stock standard seat as well, so you get a bit of comfort, and your drain hold. So jumping back on board, you get on Australian waterways, you have to wear a life jacket. So this is how we go out, guys. And here's some bonus footage, guys, just setting up the kayak for a voyage. Just unpacking, loading up all the waterproof bags and all my gears. That's what it looks like complete, all done. Get it into the water. And this is what it looks like when I pull up shop. Having a geese, putting on all my gears. Got to make sure to put that net back on with whatever you grab from your storage. Most important. Setting up Old Faithful. Check all the anchor, everything's good. And as I jump in, and there it is. That's all my stuff. Hopefully we get some good weather in this next couple of days, and I can jump back in the water and get you some mad footage or any sort of footage, as long as I'm going on this journey, and bust out some of the new gear that I showed you over there, take it out, and hopefully go get some good footage. See you in the next one, guys.